Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Mauri. In this one we will look at how to capture our opponent's pieces. And by capture I simply mean to take the pieces. To capture or take your opponent's pieces is a simple but effective way of getting a winning position. Beginners very often leave their pieces to be taken, but even strong players will sometimes make that same mistake. If you are always alert to this possibility, the possibility of getting your opponent's pieces, it will help you win many games of chess. Just remember that the king cannot be taken, he has to be checkmated to win the game. Also keep in mind that even if you have a winning position, you haven't won the game yet. Before we go further, let's also look at the value of the pieces. We say a pawn is worth 1 point, a knight 3, bishop 3, rook 5 and queen 9 points. We don't give a number to the king, we say he is worth the whole game. Alright, in the following exercises, do the best capture available. For example, if you get a bishop for a pawn, you win 2 points, because the bishop is worth 3 and the pawn is worth 1. But if you get a queen for a knight, for example, that would be a better capture, since then you would get 6 points, 9 minus 3. The best capture can be gaining anything from 1 to 9 points. So we will now see 8 puzzles, first 4 very simple ones, and then another 4 that are maybe a little bit more complicated. So let's get started. So it is white to move. White has a king and a rook. Black has a king and a bishop. What is white's only possible capture here? It is rook takes b7. Rook takes the bishop. The next one is also an easy one. It is white to move. What is white's only possible capture here? White has a king, a bishop and a pawn. Black has a king, a rook and a pawn. And the move is bishop takes c6, bishop takes the rook. In this one we have a queen on c1 and we are white. What is our only possible capture here? White to move. And the move is queen takes c5, queen takes the knight. In our fourth example, we are white again. What is white's only capture here? Look at all of black's pieces. Which one of them can we get? And which white piece can do it? So the move is queen takes h8. Queen takes the rook. Alright, and now 4 more puzzles where we have more than one option. Now you have to pick the best option, the best capture. White to move. What is white's best capture? If you said rook takes e4, you took a pawn and you gave a check. That is, however, not the best capture. Black moves his king out of the check and the game continues. The best capture was rook takes d6. Take the bishop, go for the bigger fish. Alright, in this one it is black to move. What is black's best capture? First, let's look at some mistakes, some bad captures that black could make. For example, if black takes this pawn on e4, he will lose his rook for a pawn. So he will lose 5 minus 1 points. He'll lose 4 points. So that's no good. Another mistake that black could do would be to take this pawn. This pawn is also protected. So again, we lose a rook for a pawn. So the best capture is to go after the a4 pawn. Then we gain 1 point, which is so much better than losing 4. Alright, and in this one, black to move. What is black's best capture here? A mistake would be to take this bishop. This bishop is protected by the rook on d1, which will now come and take the black rook. black loses 2 points because he lost a rook 5 points for a bishop 3 points. 5 minus 3, 2. An even worse mistake would be to take this pawn. This pawn is protected by the king and this rook here, and one of those pieces will now come and take the queen. So then black loses actually 8 points, 9 minus 1. So the best capture here is queen takes b3. Again, we only gained 1 point, but sometimes that is the best choice. And in our final example, it is again black to move what is black's best capture. Black has several bad captures and one good one. Let's have a look at the mistakes that black could make. If he takes this pawn, he loses the bishop. If he takes this pawn, he loses the rook. And if he takes this knight with a queen, then he loses the queen like this or like that. So none of these captures are any good, but a good capture would be to take the bishop. Even if the bishop is protected, white can now recapture. It is black who gains points here. So we go back here. The bishop is worth 3 points. The pawn is only worth 1 point. So therefore black gains 2 points by taking. So he's not afraid to lose his pawn because he got a more valuable piece. All right. So those were 8 puzzles taken from my workbook called Captures. That workbook has 64 puzzles in it. So if you're interested, I can tell you how to get a hold of that. It's available on my website called Restless Nights. That's where you can find that workbook. But I do thank you very much for watching this and see you in the next video. Bye bye.